welcome you to today's session. And then I'll turn it back over to our presenter. But I know I'm running from one place to another. But it's nice meeting all of you. What's your name?
Kara.
Kara.
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
You know me, Michael.
Julie. I'm just kidding.
I'm Sean.
Sean, nice to meet you. I think all of you would be interested and should participate in the 360 program that we have here at Triton College. The 360 peer-to-peer is about looking at high-impact practices, tips, and how we use them in the classroom. But you're paired up with someone in a different department to see how they're using it in the classroom and how you can manufacture your class as well too. Laura has more information if you want. It's in our flyer too. But yeah, we will be having our next session, if you can work on it on a Tuesday or Thursday. Tuesday will be at 2 o'clock, not next Tuesday. Let me emphasize that because we already have the January one. But for February, it'll be on Tuesday if you can make it for the 2 o'clock, as Laura's bringing the information. And then on Thursday, if you want to do a Thursday group, it'll be at 5 o'clock. Again, you're in partnership with someone who's not in your department. You visit his or her or their classroom to see how they're using HIPS in the classroom to get ideas of how you can use it in your own class and modify it to your class and your discipline.
When is it?
Excellent question. Let me get a flyer for you.
Yeah, these are the old flyers, same flyers, old dates. But if they look in the catalog,
It's in the front cover, yeah.
yeah, it should be on the inside cover.
I know, I plugged in. I know I was supposed to just say hi and leave.
That's okay.
You can't help yourself.
As the sponsor of this workshop, you're welcome to promote additional programming.
I'll come back to the other one too. But these are for you all. Oh. Why are you apologizing?
I'm
Take your
cute.
19 minutes.
So I'm just finishing up.
Is it?
No, you're good. You're good. I'm just promoting other programs.
I was, especially I was told you bring in my sandwich.
What? What sandwich?
I know, just messing with you.
I was like, I'm coming from the car show.
I'm just messing with you. I need to run to my next one, so I'm messing with you. But it was a pleasure meeting all of you. We hope you enjoyed today's workshop. Again, if you think of any workshops that you may want to sponsor or present for yourselves, we're looking for always good suggestions. But I would love to see all of you for 360. It's a great program, and you get a stipend as well too.
Oh,
Nice.
that's good.
So quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I teach. Okay, never mind. I have my own question.
I do it fast. Now I'm curious. I want to know.
I feel like, so is it just one meeting or the sessions every week on Thursday?
If you come in on a Tuesday, you're part of the Tuesday group, you
Okay.
only do the Tuesday group.
Okay.
That's it. If you come in on Thursday, for example, then you're only part of the Thursday group. We
Okay.
only have a meeting once a month. Within the meetings, we're sitting down and talking with each other and what we've learned about this in someone else's course or the class in this case, and talking and learning from each other and saying, oh, I never thought of that idea to do in my own class. Then you or your partner may present the next meeting to talk about what you've learned or what he or she or they learned from your class.
And so is this program completely separate from the Atlas program?
Yes,
The
it is.
workshops
Separate?
And the workshops are separate too?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so it's once a month, and then the first one, intro, is today, right after this one. So if you can stay, we can give you a thumbs up on intro, you're welcome, and you can start the process, and then you've got dates to pick from. So if you're an evening group,
Then you only come in the evening group for
those are
that.
your dates.
So you only come in for the Thursday group because of the fact that you're part of that group. And with the Thursday group, I do apologize. With the Thursday group, you're basically just sharing with each other what you've learned from your colleague and what your colleagues learned from you.
We are being recorded. Hi, everyone. So my name is Hilary Meyer. I'm the Dean of Academic Success. Welcome. So glad you're here. My areas include academic support areas, the library, our academic success center, which is our tutoring area, our access and accommodations department, our peer mentoring, early alert, trio student support services, and our student tech support, which we call ETRC. But I'm happy to talk to many of the other available services and resources we have on campus because there's a lot. And Denise is my partner in crime here.
Hi,
Introduce
everyone.
herself.
I'm Denise Jones. I'm the Dean of Retention and Student Engagement. I oversee pretty much all the areas that we deal with onboarding. And so I have new student orientation, advising, testing center, Triumph and Surge, which are retention mentoring programs, initiatives that we have on campus, transfer center, and advising.
So we thought it would be great just to have, as a small group, a conversation. What's on your mind? What are you seeing in your class? How can we support you? I understand you're in adult ed ESL. Michael, you're in
CIS.
Adult ed. Okay, so that
Okay.
helps.
Okay.
So the good news is there's been a lot more available to our adult ed students than there's been in the past. So we do want to be as inclusive as possible, including adult ed students in as many of the services and resources on campus as possible. We very much see them as full members of the campus community, and we hope that if they would like to pursue credit courses in the future, they would see us as a place of choice. So the students newly have Triton email accounts, and they are able to take advantage of tutoring and the library and a lot of the wonderful activities that take place on our campus.
Tech, right?
Yes, they have their own laptop loans. They will be getting course books through the library if you haven't had info. That's brand new, so that's exciting. Have you taught in past semesters?
Yes, this is my third.
Okay. So in the past, the instructor had to go get the suitcase full of books. Now they're all available through the library. And part of that is intentionally to have the students come into the library space, get used to checking out books, and understand that this is a place for them. They can study, they can hang out. And so really reduce any stigma or anxiety around that. And also that's what we do. We loan books, so why not make it easier on the instructors as well. So I'd love to personally hear feedback, how that goes, if it's smooth. Yes, bring it on.
I was just telling him because I'm a sped teacher too.
Yeah.
So one thing I can say, because I've always taught level 1, is that the Blackboard, I spend a lot of time showing the students how to access email Blackboard when they come to my class. And I know we have like 15 weeks to try to get all of this stuff and bring this in. But when I have someone who does not speak the language and they kind of get frustrated trying to log into Blackboard, and then you have to remember sometimes their phone learning different languages. And I know my first semester here, I have 5 different languages.
Yeah.
Trying to get 25 to 30 adults to get onto Blackboard was kind of complicated. So even if they had access prior to starting the class to get those materials, even, I don't know, when they're registering, getting them access to like a QR code to get on Blackboard or something to give them easy access to this before they got to the class would be excellent, because I want them to learn how to get to Blackboard, because there's so many resources on there, so that when they're going to level 2, I'm just thinking the next level, and then when they get to the actual courses in the heart of going to Triton, if they wanted to register, like the Bridge program or the GED program, I want them to get to that program and learn how to actually use Blackboard. So just getting them that access early on would be like a big help. Like, I know sometimes I have to take their tests and like consolidate it because they can't use Blackboard. Even by the end of the class, some people still don't know how to truly navigate it. and I know he teaches level 3, so by level 3, I would hope that they know how to do Blackboard.
Well, they
Do they?
Some of them do, but not at level 1
Mhm.
because they're getting to meet fresh. This is their first.
Yeah.
Probably, I know last night I had a student that this is their first month in the U.S.
Right.
So they
Yeah.
don't know, and this is their first. They don't know, like, I don't know if they have an open house here for them. When they first come, I don't know what it looks like for them.
Not for spring,
Yeah.
not for spring, but they did. Remember, because that's where great point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
No, I know for a
This is-
fact they
this
did
is-
do an open house, but I want to say it was for fall. I don't
Okay.
feel like I heard
I
anything
haven't heard anything.
for spring, and I only know just because certain staff from my areas were invited to come and talk, but that
That's
didn't
right.
happen for
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that I see many of my students like even last night. Like that's my goal is to at least make sure that they know how to do that, just in case they don't see me for
Right.
they repeat it or have to go again, that they know how to at least access that, so that they can move on to another instructor or take another. I want to encourage them to keep going, and I don't want them to be so frustrated. Like they want to, because they're like, I don't know how to do any of this.
Right.
So like my first class is geared towards learning Triton,
Mhm.
but I want it to be geared towards instruction too.
Right.
So I don't want to spend as much time learning how to,
Yeah.
the college, of just the basics of Blackboard or just the basics of logging on to their email.
Well, we can definitely share this feedback
Yeah.
with adult education. I'm be honest, I'm not as familiar with what their entire intake process is. So I can't say at the time of registration what that looks like, what that even looks like on the back end of when they will have access to Blackboard. I can speak to it on the credit side. And I know even for the credit side, students don't get access to their Blackboard until 24 to 48 hours prior to the class.
I'm even saying they don't even know how to log on to Blackboard. Like, not even accessing the class. They don't even know how to, like, the Microsoft Authenticator.
Authenticator.
They don't know
Yeah.
how to do any of that part. They don't even know that they need to download that to their phone. They don't know that some of them don't even know their username and passwords.
Right.
So trying by the time we get there, they don't know how to, I have the cheat sheet because this is my third semester, but they don't know that these are things that you need to do to be successful this semester.
So this is interesting feedback because through the ETRC, that's our student tech support in the library, we get a ton of adult ed students coming in prior to the class starting so they can set up the portal and MFA and all that stuff. So there's something missing if there's students who are not getting that piece.
Yeah.
Because my understanding was when they register, that is part of their steps. Like go to the ETRC, make sure you're set up. So clearly that's not happening. So that is great feedback that I could circle back with adult ed team, with Corinne and Nina, and figure out what's going on.
Because I know some of my students from last semester, they came to me last night with the wrong class number. And then I know, thank God I have a translator on my phone. Like one person, he was sitting waiting outside of the classroom and he didn't know what there was no instructor, and they gave him the wrong class number. So he was just sitting there and he didn't speak any English. So when I'm thinking about
When you say they gave him the wrong class number, what does that mean? That on his
somebody
schedule?
wrote him on the sticky note. The
Oh,
wrong class number. And so that's when I think, to me, the scheduling of him finding it on the portal would have been
Right.
important if he
Right.
had the access to
Yeah.
himself doing that, how.
Right. So I will try to fix the front end in terms of kind of like the onboarding, registration, enrollment tasks. But if you're faced with a class full of students who haven't gone through those steps, you are welcome and encouraged. We would love to see you if you want to take the whole class over to the ETRC to work, or encourage them kind of as homework to come by. We would love to, at any time, help support them one-on-one or in groups to get them kind of comfortable with all those things. That's the whole point of the existence of that department.
Right. I don't know how soon you communicate with students. I don't know if that is
First, as soon
something.
as I get their whole roster,
Okay.
I have. Like,
Yeah, I'm wondering if that is one of those things like prior to class, you
Yeah,
need
so I
to do this.
I've learned so much just from that I emailed them. I've encouraged them. So last night, for instance, I learned some mistakes, a trial and error that I had all my students already get their IDs. So that
Yeah.
I've already set an appointment. So whatever students
Yeah.
didn't, we're going to get IDs this evening at 6:00.
Okay.
Great. Yeah.
All the students that showed up Tuesday, I only have one student that didn't, and he should have it. He should have it tonight. So if some of the students didn't show up, we still have the appointment today. Same
Great.
thing with like the books and the computers.
Yeah.
So I have taught them how to do that, but my concern is just for some people who don't know that.
Yeah. And that's supposed to be part of that's been our discussions as part of the class steps, that they're supposed to get their ID before they go to the ETRC, because that's how we verify enrollment. So that's all supposed to be done in advance. Clearly, whether it's a language or something else going on that's not happening. So that's good feedback. Yeah, welcome desk.
Yeah, that's underneath it, thanks.
Yeah, so that's great. That's great feedback, and kudos to you for taking the time to help set them up, because the college going is so critical. Just things that we kind of take for granted.
Yeah, navigating those resources.
Yeah. What other questions or concerns? Michael, how are things going?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my class has only met twice so far, but it's going well.
Mhm.
I've only had one absence so far, so one
Great.
one no-show, I should say.
Great.
So,
That's great.
yeah.
Are you familiar with the retention alert?
I am. I haven't done it yet, but
Okay.
I need to.
I mean, that's fine.
I haven't tried reaching out to the student myself yet either, but
Okay,
I don't know if
yeah.
I wanted to do that.
So if it becomes a pattern, that is definitely an option. We've revised it, so you'll see new categories this spring as a result of faculty feedback and what we're seeing in terms of what alerts were submitted. Attendance is, as to be expected, the #1 most popular alert, especially during these early weeks. So
Mhm.
that's critical.
Especially for those inclusive access courses too.
Yeah, and no one can't be successful if you're not showing up. So yeah, we've been really tightening the back end to ensure that our support teams are responsive in a timely manner, and we can close the loop with faculty, so you'll get follow-up emails with statuses of those alerts. I know that's something that we've heard.
Mhm. Yeah, we've even updated the alerts for this semester
Yeah,
based
they're
on, yeah.
more
I just said
nuanced.
remind you just now.
Yeah, but definitely that doesn't preclude nothing is better than the faculty member themselves working with the student, but if you need additional support, we're here for sure. So what else can we help you with, or what else do you think? Is there anything you'd like to see that we don't offer?
I think that the idea, when you mentioned the students coming into the library, is fantastic, especially for ESL students. I mean, we really need, I feel like, so I've, as stated, I had taught level 3 and level 4, so there's 6 levels, obviously, in ESL. And even in an intermediate level, at either 3 or 4, definitely I saw a real need to embrace the students, bring the students in, and allow them to really become familiar multiple times, with all the resources that we have on campus. And I would really like to know them more, but I think that would be great if we could have even just hands-on learning with these.
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have Triton email addresses.
What's that?
I was just looking at
Yeah.
my list of all the resources so I can make sure we don't forget anything, even now that we're asking our general questions. But we do have a resource called Timely Care for our students, which is a 24/7 on-demand mental health and wellness app. It also provides, what's the other term? Some medical benefits to students as well, and it's absolutely free. So students do not need insurance. They just have to have a Triton email address and be enrolled for that semester. So I'm not sure if you all were aware
Well,
of Timely Care.
I was aware, and actually I produced a document and I shared it with the students, and I sent it to, I had 3 languages in my class last semester. I had Polish, Ukrainian, and Spanish. So I mean, I even plugged that, like, information in about it into those different, Google translation platforms, and then I shared it via WhatsApp groups and in emails. So that's good, and I think it's awesome. Now, the other side of it is, though, it isn't, I mean, as a non-native or non-first language speakers of English, and especially even as intermediate students, there needs to be something else done. And I'd be happy to like work on it with my students, like actually saying, hey, let's go do something. Like if there was a like a hands-on place we could go to, like the Timely Care, we could go and meet like the nurse or something like
Right.
that. Like that would really be good. Like if we could get them out and doing stuff on campus. 'Cause, like
So with our counseling and wellness center, yes, but Timely Care is a agreement that we have with a third party. So we wouldn't have a physical thing we can do in regards to Timely Care other than having something where students are shown how to download the app and create the account. That, yes, we do have a nurse on campus. However, her hours, I'm not sure if it will be conducive to the evening courses, but the morning courses, yes.
But it's worth a little campus tour because that nursing office is hard to find. It's kind of tucked away.
Yeah, G109. But students still need to know
Yeah,
about it
Yeah,
and where they
for
can
sure.
access it.
Yeah.
that'd be great. Well, I mean, normally teaching at night, I think.
And, I took a campus tour for many of those students in the evening because some of them do work during the day. I know that last semester, one of the other instructors and I, just because real life experience is kind of better when you're learning the language.
Mhm.
And so we took them to the Space Center.
Yeah.
Or we call it a field trip or
That's
excursion.
great.
Because mostly we
That's
call it an
fantastic.
excursion. So I feel like that kind of helped them too, to kind of learn a different area of the campus instead of the classroom. Even though it was all in English and they might not have understood everything, it
But-
helps them listen.
Yeah, but if they go together and you're speaking with them, then
Exactly.
there's more of a connective thing. Like I would say, definitely, I would want to be part of those campus tours. I wouldn't want to just like I'd want to walk with them and like
Yes.
because we're helping
And it
them
was other
understand
classes.
you.
So it was a time to kind of like connect with other people outside of the classroom. And then I think seeing more of those, it was like a cultural day or something that was offered in one of the buildings last semester. I think we need to see more of that, making that with more individuals. And be bring together and
Yeah, it would be
Great.
Yeah, outside of the classroom sometimes.
For sure. Like, yeah, there's opportunity here. We already have these things, but built for credit students, and the model's there, so it's just a question of, and this is a great opportunity because it's, as you know, we are in an interim period about to get a new dean of adult ed, so we can
Yes.
really open up those conversations.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, that's, like, we know it's critical for our credit students, so of course, when you're facing, language challenges and everything else over and above, that's even more critical, of course. Where are your classrooms?
Most of this semester, I think they're in, most of them are in.
Yeah.
We were last time.
So you're really
Oh.
out
So
there.
last
My
semester was
neighborhood.
Well, yeah, M is a different, it
And
feels
it's like
like,
everybody's in there, and I mean.
it's like West Campus.
Even if someone even came for like the tutoring department, because I know now that they
Yes.
have access for tutoring.
Yes.
I don't even, I think I read it in the email, but like, they know that they have access to tutoring, but they don't know what to, like. the
Bring 'em
tutoring
by.
offers- What is the tutoring offering them as a PSL adult ed student? Because they probably don't know what that connection is yet. Like, what am I going to learn when I'm going to tutoring? How they're going to work with me on this? Like, what truly am I going to get help with? I think someone coming to kind of the class to even talk to them about that tutoring access and what they can offer them.
Sure, yeah.
That makes sense.
Send us a request when we do
Yes.
class visits.
Curriculum content based.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, I know years ago, actually predating me, I've been here 10 years, we used to have conversation tables.
And that's what they, sorry, I'm such a talker.
No, please. This is
No,
this
we
is-
need active engagement
is-
is strongly encouraged.
We hear ourselves talk all day.
Even
Go
for
ahead.
my class, and I'm like, this is just for the adult edge. Tonight, I'm going to do like conversation starters for them.
Yeah,
So even if they had a safe space to talk to other students that are not in the ESL courses,
sure,
where they could have like conversation circles
yeah,
with, like he said, that where the health center or something, even if it was like, because it is hard moving from a different country and you don't know their backgrounds. And so if they had a place where they could kind of come and talk to different students about their experiences, because I think I had like 5 or 6 different countries last night that they all spoke Spanish.
right,
So
Yeah.
like if they had a safe space where they could kind of communicate and feel comfortable, because I think that comfort zone is like, this is who I know and this is where I'm going to stay. So they all tend to kind of flock together.
Mhm.
But I think if they had somewhere that they kind of like could have a conversation and talk about topics like sports or interest and things like that, that would be great.
Has there ever been opportunity for same level faculty or adjuncts to do that? Like if you know 2 other level 1 adjuncts and you know they also teach in the evening, you know you're all in the M building, has there ever been an opportunity or encourage for you all to come together to do something like that?
So yes and no. So last semester we were kind of mixed up.
Okay.
So some of us were in this building, some were in other buildings, but now we're kind of like, it seems like we're all in them. So I even have a friend that I refer who's teaching this semester. Sean and I kind of started together, and so some of us are all there. So those are some ideas that we could do this semester.
Yeah, I think that would be a great thing. I mean, like, even like by the levels, you
Yeah.
know, because then actually we have separate level sessions in the semester. So we
Okay.
have like 2 meetings in the semester, which, you know, all the level 1 or all the level 3
Oh,
or whatever,
okay.
we meet and we talk. It's online and it's led by Nina. But
Yeah.
but it'd be a really good spot to just say like, well, if we were coordinating with you guys, like, why don't we
Yeah.
go do a walk somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
As a
Yeah.
group.
sure.
It's a big group, and then it'd be good with all the students. That'd be really nice. Yeah.
And what about, do you ever have like inter-level talks? Like what if the level 6 students could like mentor or coach
Right.
the level 1 students?
We have peer mentors.
No, I don't think
No.
we want to do that. Not,
No.
I mean, I think ESL, like the problem that you're going to get, I've seen this when you try to mix levels, like it's a whole nother matter. Personally, I would be against that because I don't know how you feel, but my feeling is like, it's such an intricate thing. Each level is very intricate, and the thing is, what ends up going to happen is that you're going to have a level 6 student who is like a Spanish speaker or Ukrainian speaker, and then trying to translate, and it's not really about mentoring, like, because then it's just they're taking over the learning process. So I would say no. I would say move with levels, keep the levels together, and let them discover together on their level. Because the thing is, a superior level speaker is level 6 or level 5 level, very high level speaker, it's night and day. It's really night and day. So I wouldn't mix, but that's just my take. So
It is a little different.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna have those students, I mean, they're not native English speakers.
Right.
So we're starting from scratch with level 1. And then those students are
Yeah.
like, there's some things that might kind of get skipped along the way trying to mentor and teach those things.
How about having something outside the classroom, maybe partnering with credit students, maybe through some of our student life organizations where they could hang with common interests, like in the library, like, hey, it's sports night.
There
Come
was
chat.
something like that last semester where they had their cultural night, but
Yeah.
it only happened once.
Yes,
Like,
I've heard
only
about
seen it
that
once.
cultural.
But it
night.
was so chaotic that our students did not get the experience I thought they were going to get, because I don't know if you know everything about it, but like, yeah, some things happened that shouldn't have. And they didn't get the experience that they wanted to experience.
Yeah.
Like even my students, they created poster boards and things like that. They cooked food and everything,
Yeah.
but they didn't get the experience that they thought they were going to get experience of because it was so chaotic and it was not organized. So I think an organized event like that where they could do that would be great. Like a
Sports night sounds
like
great.
sports night.
Yeah, that'd be
Like I've
fun.
seen this month a calendar where events were scheduled and the whole college took place.
Right.
So I think it needs to be bigger than the adult ed department to make them feel connected to where they are.
Oh, well, if that's the case, I mean, we have tons of events. I mean, we've got a wonderful slate of Black History Month events going on so if we don't have to have, if they, just to make them a part of the community and have them, like, we've got a middle school band coming in a couple of weeks, and there's wonderful, lovely events where they can have kind of low pressure interactions with native speakers and peers.
That's great.
So yeah, maybe it's just a question of communicating that out to the instructors and to the students that they are welcome. These are campus-wide events.
What would be a listing of that?
We've got
On our website, when you just go to events,
On the Tribe website.
on the Tribe
Yeah.
website, yes.
And then it just.
Yeah, because a lot of times when we're putting in any requests for marketing or flyers, they also just add those events to our overall calendar.
And you say that there's a student group of, like band members, is that what you said, or?
I was saying, one of the events we're featuring for Black History Month is a local middle school band that's coming to play music by Black composers, and it's
But
in the
we
cafeteria.
do have a community.
But yes, that's
band
true as
and
well.
community choir.
And there's theater, there's all sorts of wonderful opportunities.
That would be really good. I tell you what I did I taught ESL in New Orleans, and it was such a vibrant space with like second lines and, brass band, just every Sunday, there's like a second line out on the streets. It's fantastic. So I would bring my students to that. But that kind of interconnected cultural thing, they really respond well to that. Like, I think that gets them out, and it forces them, as you said, to speak with native or first language speakers of English. That's fantastic. So those kinds of things would be great.
Well, we are having, next week, Pack the Place for
We're
to
always
support our athletes.
amazing. We have amazing sports
So
events.
so there's always different events to support our athletes here on campus. I know our women's basketball team is celebrating 50 years.
Yes.
But specifically,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
specifically though,
Super fun.
February 8th is this evening. We do have this big wide Pack the Place where we are encouraging just everybody to come and support the teams, and it's gonna be like free popcorn. I think they're gonna have like some hot dogs.
Yeah.
That's Thursday.
Yep, February 8th. Oh, Pack the Place.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that would also get them across the street, because we have a whole beautiful campus across the street. And we have wonderful facilities. We have fitness facilities. So really, like, they could, if they wanted to, register for some recreational fitness programming too.
Because they have access to that as well, correct? Like,
The fitness center, they can certainly register.
and so
Really? They can use the fitness center. That's great.
It's not
They have to
free.
register for a class or something like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What
It's
about-
only free for students who are full-time.
Okay.
And students who are part-time pay,
A nominal
it's a fee for them to have then access for the semester.
But they do have access. It's just
Sports weekend for us. That would be such.
Yes, yeah, we have fantastic teams,
We do.
amazing facilities. We've got the high school using the facilities. I mean, if people are interested, and it's great. And we have like nationally ranked teams. It's really great.
What about some of the workshops for like resume success?
Yeah,
Because I know that, again, these are adults.
yeah,
They were saying last night that they want to be able to explore job opportunities after these classes.
sure.
So are these workshops available to them as well?
Yes,
Okay.
through our career services, they do
Okay.
keep their website very updated and just kind of robust.
Okay.
So they have where you can request. Sometimes they come in and do in-class presentations.
Okay.
They do have in-person workshops as well as some virtual workshops. I know they're planning a few different career fairs. But yes, career services is open to all.
See, that's something I
Yeah.
can use for the
Right.
occupation and job.
Yeah.
meeting, Because
They'll
I'm
do,
it's
right,
like basically
resume
the book
review.
for you. If this is a review
Yeah.
class for them and they repeat it, I don't
Yeah.
want to just go back to the same book. I
Right.
feel like working on their resume or something.
Right.
could be-
Cover letters,
Their cover letters.
mock
Yeah.
interviews. They're
Exactly.
wonderful. You can reach out to career services. They can even look at customizing workshops.
Yeah, Lorena's good about that.
Yeah.
If you just send an email, she'll say, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
What you're looking for, if it's something that can start at the beginning of the semester and then by the end of the semester. So
Yeah,
she's great.
yeah. The director is Lorena Gasca,
Mhm.
Lorenagasca. And importantly, just to share with your students, our career services center is open to the community. So if they have
Yes.
family members
Yes,
who are looking
absolutely.
for
And
assistance.
it's right across, it's right across from adult ed.
That's right.
Literally.
Literally across.
It's right across from adult ed.
Adjacent to the library. We're all right there. Come get your textbook, get your resume review.
That's fantastic. What's, how do you spell that? I'm sorry.
Gasca.
CA.
Yeah.
And she's great. She is
She is great.
So
She's
kind,
great.
so
Yes,
friendly.
she is great.
And she's looking for
And she-
business.
Yes, and her energy
You know?
is like, let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah. This
I
is
admire her
huge.
tremendously for so many reasons.
Yeah, yeah, she's been doing great things with that, and she has a good team. Loretta Nyan is great too. She's the assistant director.
She's the director, this is the career service.
Career services, yes.
But yeah, it could not be more convenient. Probably
Right.
half the time your students end up in career services looking for adult ed.
Well, I'm gonna lobby the able.
And they also have a much promoted photo cube.
Oh, let's say career cube.
Yeah, so they
Yes.
can get a professional photo if you want to work on
Yes,
having them develop
I
a
think you
LinkedIn
should actually
account.
incorporate that. I don't know
Yeah.
how much you can, but on careers, even on career services, we have a tool called Career Cube. And you can just make it where it's a part of the lesson. They dress up, or at least dress professional. If you want to already just work with the career services on a designated time, or students can actually make appointments or go in on their own. And yeah, they go in and give a nice
It's like a
professional.
photo booth.
It's a photo booth, but
Yeah.
the quality
Right.
is
Yeah, yeah.
nice and this email to them. Some people I've heard have even used it for their passports, their
Yeah.
passport pictures.
You can do some light editing.
Mm-hmm. Use
Yeah.
it for their LinkedIn's, for their, yeah,
And they only need to, it's like Zoom, they only need to dress up from the waist up.
that part.
It's good though, it's a great tool, it's free.
Yeah, and it's free.
So yeah, we have a lot of wonderful.
Like we have a lot here. We do.
Resources.
We really do.
Yeah.
Just trying
Mike can
to
speak to them too.
share and how
You know
to be concise about everything we're offering. Well, the other good thing is by hopefully fall, not spring because they're currently working on it, but through our strategic plan, one of the committees is actually working on a resource guide. So that will be available, something to look forward to. That's more like a compiled list of all of the different things we have available.
Yeah, and that resource guide is for employees, so you can help share with the students everything we've got on campus. But there's so much going on, there's always new things.
The student handbook
that's being reworked too.
Yeah,
Both of those things are being
but you're
reworked.
right, it is employee.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
do you usually get campus tours? Like if I wanted to give like a real campus, I think most of them just probably know building A.
Mhm.
When could I get, because I'm living on here, is that Mondays, is that usually the day for campus tour?
You would have to contact admissions, and they can work with you on that. If you want to set something up, if you have a time, I would pick earlier, because I think
I'll have
at the
to-
latest, they're open till 7.
Oh.
So it would need to be prior to.
That's great for an overview, but you're also welcome to reach out to the individual departments and we can do a more in-depth tour and host you and have
Yeah.
the students
Yeah.
hang out, like for example, in the tutoring center or in the library.
Yeah.
Or you could just have your class in those spaces, like, hey, today we're gonna meet in the library. What else?
Library normal, retention,
Right.
tutoring, access, accommodation, trio,
Um,
triumph, and surge.
I like to always share this with everyone just because it's a benefit for you as employees. You are welcome to use the library yourself. We have access to millions of volumes through our statewide consortia, including the University of Illinois Library, which is one of the top 3 in the country in terms of collection size. We also have access to a lot of articles, so if something's not available through our library databases, we can do interlibrary loans from literally around the world. If you have a specific research or recreational interest, in my case, my son has very specific anime interests, and I'm having to continue to borrow from a Kentucky library. I don't know why this is the only library that's either willing to loan to us or has these volumes available. But that's also something to note. And we also have free, this could be a benefit to your students, New York Times digital subscriptions to all community members who have Triton email addresses. So that's open to employees, students, your adult ed students. I mean, this could be a good way to use primary sources.
We get emails every day.
What?
Your
New York Times? Yeah, so that's that was actually a result of a rhetoric instructor wanting to use New York Times in the classroom, and so we got an institutional license. So you're welcome to we encourage you to take advantage of that. And if there are books or resources or subscriptions, print or e-resource periodicals that you would like to use in your class, let us know and we can work on obtaining it. Our primary function in the library is to support the curriculum, and that's the entire curriculum. So if we're not doing that, let us know.
Like, this is the first time we actually had ESL.
Yeah, this is great.
Instructors that came, I was like, oh, great, good.
Yeah, there is something exciting in the works. I don't know if it's been shared, but the previous dean, Dean Lynch, and I went to Leiden, which is one of our big feeder high schools, and got a demo of this gorgeous magic machine, this Lexmark printer that does near instantaneous translations. That is coming soon. That's going to be a huge game changer for all of us. So it can translate in and out of multiple languages, and it keeps formatting. So if you have a formatted flyer, it will translate and keep the design. It's incredible. So that is coming, and that should really help. So you don't have to sit there and do Google Translate.
Right.
The translation is through Microsoft, so we've been assured it's a higher quality than the Google Translate. So we'll see.
Do you know if the college has any translator devices available? Like in the library?
We have, so Adult Ed has purchased for us some iPads that basically just have Google Translate, but they're not
Oh,
translation-specific devices.
because I know a few translating devices where you can like scan some sheets and it translates. to-
Oh, okay, well, that's what this will be.
Mhm.
So it's a machine, so it looks like a copy machine, but also it will be paired with a cloud service, so anyone with an account could translate a PDF.
But like, would the students have access to that? No.
Not initially. We've talked about potentially having a machine in the library that's kind of open, but that would be kind of a second phase. Yeah,
These are just like some little Amazon devices.
like pens.
Yes, that
Translators?
they could potentially use if they came to rent out from the library, where if they wanted to do some work at home.
Oh,
and they would like,
well, that's
"Oh, I
cool.
scanned this and I
Send that to, will you send that to me? Because that is something we could definitely look at getting. We have a whole loanable tech
That's what I
you
was
know,
about to say.
collection. We've got laptops, we've got a shrinking number of hotspots, we've got recording devices, we've got DVD players, not players, like DVD extensions for laptops. What? Yeah, right. Headsets, webcams. So that is very cool. So if that's like a personal device, that's definitely something we could look at, and probably something that could be grant funded, which is even better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely, I'm gonna call the new dean up right away to try to get a hold of that money, and that's being
I
recorded.
just know
So.
because I'm like a
No, that's great. I-
CPS, so we buy
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the younger kids, and they're like, they love
Yeah.
it 'cause it kind of-
I never heard of that. That's great. Yeah, let's look into it. That's not something that's completely,
Mhm.
without knowing more, it seems doable. So, yeah, that sounds great.
So if we have an idea or we see something online, we just can write you or both of you and just say.
Yeah, well, if it's kind of library loanable stuff, you could go to me or, and I will send it on to our fabulous librarians. But I'm happy to be a first point of contact to introduce you to the departments. You don't have to memorize 50 names right now. I'll do a warm pass off. But,
I
yeah.
do that workshops more often because I'm
Right.
like, I'm new, like not new, but I'm new and I didn't even know half of this stuff.
See?
Yes.
Tell your friends. Tell your
Tell them
friends.
to come.
Only you should take off.
I will
Yay.
say, every time we do come to the PDC, people are like, oh, this was really great. It's like,
Like, why have I been waiting? Like, this was my first time printing paper today. I've been waiting for 3 semesters to print paper.
Yeah, but for knowing that, like, this is like a perennial challenge. Like, how do we get the word out? Like, how do we encourage faculty to learn about these things? Because it's a challenge. You're super busy and you have all these other things, and yet this can be helpful for all, because we were learning a lot too, but we're going to take back. And
yeah.
this has been
Yeah,
great.
it's been
And
great.
it's so rare to have these conversations.
Well, I would say the real way, at least for the adult ed that I've seen, and that I'm very new as well. So like, I've seen that if there's a direct connection with management there, and you say, hey, we've got these things, and can you organize it? Like, the instructors will really appreciate that. That's a disconnect though. That's a little bit of a disconnect. I mean, I think we'd be both, at least from our side, both willing to make those connections with our colleagues. But also, I think it would be helpful to talk to Nina, and to talk to the dean and say, look, there's some things we could do, just community outreach for adult ed or ESL, and that would be effective. I think that, I feel like there's like a disconnect between, because if the only thing we did last semester was the cultural fair, that wasn't enough. Like, we needed maybe 1 or 2 other events that we could have really brought the students to. That would have been really good. So.
Because it was just like, they came to the students' classroom in the evening to kind of share those. Like, why not just being realistic, these are English language learners. They're not looking at the calendar or the website.
No,
Come
no.
to the classroom and, like, the same way they translated, like, with a 1-pager to tell them, like, this was the
Yeah.
COVID night coming, so come to the classroom, kind of share some of those important, to me, like the 60th or the 50th year, and like hype that up and like tell the students like this is their 50th year at a college that you're attending, like this is exciting, this is somewhere that you are, and you're part of this community. Tell them some of those, like if there was even a spirit week and some of those things, like the event on the 8th, tell them about that, because many of them would love to participate, like.
See, I see that, but I think that our students are not, like, my feeling is we need to get them up out of the classroom.
No, that's what I'm saying, bring the person to tell them about it, to get them out of the
Well,
classroom.
we had a lot of that. We had like people from the department coming and talking to them, and they half of the time they didn't understand.
No, not meaning that, get them to tell them about the event, because I had someone translate it to them, and that's how my students got to the event.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, like tell them about the event in our classroom and tell them about it so that they can attend. And that's how we were ending up going over there to attend the event. Because somebody translated in their language, because if I'm just like telling them about it, they don't know what I'm talking about. But then one day, for instance, when they brought the alcohol to our event, I had three different people translating to them about what happened. Bring someone in there to translate, okay, this is happening there. Because the Department of Adult Ed does have like 3 different people who speak 3 different languages who can translate that.
They can translate it. I think that I agree. So it's good if they come and talk, but I also think that organizing specific excursions, like saying we're all going to do this, would be, then it's even like, almost like you don't need to sit and explain it. Yeah, you have to explain it to them, but like, hey, we're all going to go today to a really cool thing in a sports thing. What does sports mean? What does PEP mean? What do these things mean? And then let's stand up, everybody, we're gonna go. They're like, what are we doing? But they get over there, and suddenly then they have the experience. So I feel like even just planning it and getting like level by level people out of their seats, walking over there, and like, because that's a lot of it, like, they can be honestly kind of lazy. Like you can say to them, hey, students don't be lazy. So they can be just like, oh, okay, that sounds cool, even in Spanish or whatever, like, that's cool. And they switch off. But if you say, no, everybody get up and let's go do it, then they'll actually have the experience. So I don't know, I see what you're saying.
My students will be at the February 8th.
Okay.
Great.
That's why I'm like, because I'm going to have that on my calendar for us to go over there.
Good.
On a Thursday.
I unfortunately have to go, so I have to be over to you by 4:30. So I got 2 minutes, but thank you.
This was
I don't know if you all
amazing.
had any other questions. Hilary,
I could
you
stay.
can share my
Yeah.
information if needed, but thank you for coming.
Thank you.
See you good.
You too. Love your outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes,
Like
me
you
too.
Yeah, so it sounds like, making the connections with the directors in adult ed, Nina, Corinne, and maybe as a department selecting a couple key events.
Yes, I think
That's
That
what
would
I'm
be
hearing.
selecting. the
Like,
key
hey, this
events
is
that
what
we
we're
should attend.
doing.
Yes.
We're gonna do this pep rally, we're gonna do this
The
movie
pep rally
showing.
is so amazing.
Yeah,
Students would
and they
love
could
it.
even bring their families.
That's good, yes. Their families need to make that, they need to do all of that, because it's like, it's just, to me right now, with adult ed, I can't say that, it's like, it's the university or the college, and it's just adult ed. That's how sometimes I do see it, because the students don't know if they're making that connection.
But if, for example, I could see, because I know with like, these people are very community centered, right? And if we got them going to like a pep rally, and they really feel a part of that, they'll come every year to that. Then they'll be like, it'll become a thing within the department.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta do the pep rally again. They'll
Yeah.
all talk about it, and they'll push, actually. You won't need to talk to me and then the second year, because the students will be talking about it from the year before,
Yeah.
My students cooked every night, they brought dinner to class.
That's amazing,
every night.
yeah. Food is amazing.
Where's my invite?
I'm like, I had to tell them, I'm like, you don't have to bring food every night, but they literally cooked us, it was like family style dinner every night.
Yeah,
And that's because they felt a community in the classroom.
right.
So
Right.
every night we might have pasta, salad, like desserts, but some type of food was in the class.
That's great.
And that's every semester I have that. So I'm like, they're family oriented, community oriented, and I want them to feel part of Tri's community. That's all I
Right.
want them to
So
do.
do we.
Yes, so we just have
Yeah,
to really
for sure.
get them
This
engaged.
is amazing. I'm glad it's recorded, so you can share it.
I was recording.
Yeah.
Good. Good. Record it.
Everything that was said was
Oh,
great.
gosh.
Talk to Laura if you want to delete portions.
No, I'm very vocal, but I'm like, I really want them to, by the time they leave here, or at least leave the ESL program, I want them to like take a class here and like,
Yeah.
this is just the stepping stone
Right.
to where they really
Right.
be. Because a lot of them in their country, they'll tell you like they were doctors
Right.
in the military.
Right.
And I'm like, that shouldn't change now
Right.
that you're here.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. I probably learned more than you learned, but thanks. I appreciate your time, and you got my card, Denise Jones at Triton. It's easy to spell. It's how it sounds. But yeah, let's keep up I love these ideas. Thank you for all you do to support our students. Thanks, Todd, for putting us on the calendar.
Well, thank you.
All right.
I love going